Hello, ladies and gents. This is Evan, your host in some really exciting creative tutorials. Today, I'm going to grab Photoshop Creative Cloud 2014, the new Photoshop, and I'm going to show you a fantastic, great, new, exciting, and fresh technique of background separation. So I'm going to deal with the main headache for the photographers. Of course, I'm talking about the background, how to change, the background, how to delete this ugly background, and concentrate yourself and your audience into the foreground. So the foreground should be away from the background, but sometimes it's really tough to take it away. There are moments that you don't have a white background, so easy to delete your background with some simple tools. And sometimes you have to pass all the procedure and take your pen tool and stay for an hour, for a day, for a year, for a life to take away a background. But this is gonna stop right away because the new feature of the Photoshop CC 2014 is going to change all that. There is a new exciting feature in new Photoshop that takes away really good the background, even the busy background, like this photo you can see in front of you. This busy photo, it was one of my photographs in one baptism in Austria 10 days ago, and I really liked the hand and the cap and and the priest and the book, but the background was really lousy. So I really wanted to separate the background from the foreground. Sometimes it sounds easy, sometimes it can be a really pain to take away the background, but that will end today. So let's load the photograph into the Photoshop. You can just load a simple photograph. The only thing that you have to pay attention in your photograph is to have a blurry background. A simple blurry or a heavy blurry background, doesn't matter. It's going to work, no problem. You just have to have your foreground more clear than the background. That's the trick. So have this photo or this kind of photo, imported in Photoshop. Let's, do our magic. So I have the photo in Photoshop and I'm gonna stop, talking. I talk too much sometimes anyway. So I'm going to select the focus area, which is the new feature in the new Photoshop. So I'm clicking that, and right away Photoshop will do a little trick, a little magic. In the start it will look like a disaster, a totally disaster. Of course, you're gonna see something like that as a first result, and you're going to say, okay, Photoshop, you're full of promises, you're full of words, but deep inside you're just a piece of, you name it afterwards. So this is the first thing you will see, or some little parts of your own photograph, but this can really be better, and actually it can really be great in a matter of minutes. So I'm going to click on the overlay, this red and clear. So when it's red, actually it's deleted, and where it's clear is actually it's gonna stay. These things, the hands and the cap is going to stay, and the other parts are going to be away. So we have to train Photoshop to keep the good stuff and take away the bad stuff. Okay, so this is really easy. Just follow me. I'm going to select this brush, this plus brush, and I'm going to pass just click and drag just a line from the parts I want to keep. So I'm going to start and paint that. Just paint one simple line. You don't have to be, an expert in Photoshop. Just that. I mean, it's so easy. Click, and right away we have the half of the hand. Click and drag here, and right away we have the other. You see how easy. I mean, it's like, a kid's play. It's like playing, with a Game Boy, or, just hang out and chew a gum or something. So I'm going to pass from this and this, just 2 or 3 passes and we are done. Of course here, super, and a little in the feet. Of course here, super, and of course I have to take away a little bit the reveal layer so I could understand when it's the end. I cannot actually see where is the end of this man's trousers, so I'm going to say that it is somewhere here. Super great. You see, I think I like it here. And then I'm going to grab this wood and the book. And of course, I don't want this to be so great. And here the book, the Bible or something. So this is great. And that's about it. I'm going to zoom, Control plus, Command plus in Macintosh. So I go here and I'm going to lower my brush. Super, with the left bracket key, or actually go here and change the size. So I'm going to actually take away with minus and paint, you see. So here and here and here and here. Great. And you see how fast and how accurate this is. Actually, I really don't think I'm gonna hold this wood part of the bench. So great. I think we're okay, and that's about it. So we're finished about the focus area. I'm going to click the refine edge right now, and we're going to pass into the next level. So click the refine edge, and right away we can actually go and see what is going on here. So we have that, but it's really looking messy and really ugly. So the refine edge is gonna make the things even better. So I'm going to change again to the overlay mode. I'm going to lower my brush. I will not change anything in here. I just go from one window to the other. So I am right now to the refine edge, and I'm going to pass around my subject, just that, and see how wonderful it mixes the foreground and separates the background. No more ugly shapes. You see how wonderful it goes? Great. And it's like a toy. You see how wonderful it goes, the whole separation of the background. So I'm going there. You see, I'm going here. So Photoshop takes over all the little garbage or the little ugly pixels between my background and foreground. So it's really like playing, nothing more, nothing less. So you see how wonderful it goes. So that's about it. I have to do it all in order to make it looking sexy. So I'm taking out, it depends from the blurriness, the amount of the separation. So you have to use a blurry image in order to make it look good. So I'm gonna pass really fast from this man's arm, and I mean it's wonderful. And of course here and here, and boom, it's great. And of course there, superbly, and here, and of course I'm gonna zoom it, and I'm gonna hold this, I'm gonna take away that, the ugly pixels from, oops, well, we actually take away all the handle of the cap. So here I'm going to do that, great, and then I'm going to pass at about here. So it's working better. I'm gonna lower the brush, and boom, it's great. Well, it's super great, it's super good, and we're done, ladies and gents. So right now I'm going to click OK, and we have a wonderful separation of the background. Actually, I can save this selection as as a separate selection. So we go to select, and then we go to save selection, and we save this as selection of priest. Well, right now I have just remind myself that the first tutorial I did in this channel in Photoshop was about background separation again, but I think this technique is much more better. So I have the separation, of course it's stored in here. So we have priest and cap, or selection of priest. This was a previous selection I did, so this is the new one, selection of priest. Great. And right now I can actually create a new adjustment layer. So I go to, let's say, to photo filter. By the way, we are going to increase the density. You see that you are just editing the foreground and the background. Of course, if I go to the properties of the mask, I'm going to hit invert, and right away we are affecting the background. With the same procedure, we can actually take out, make more dark the background. So we go to the curves. Actually, I'm going to, first of all, control click and select again, or here, control click, select again the selection of priest. You see? And I go to the curves and I'm gonna lower down that, and of course I'm going to actually invert this one. Whoopsie, this one. You see how easy that was? And of course I can do many things, work about it. I can also create a black and white. Black and white is gonna make things even better, but you can always try different things, and you see, and try to edit great stuff. Of course, I can do that right now. I can go to channels, control click in the selection of priest. I can do a control J, so I can actually separate the background from the foreground at all, and then I can go inside here. I'm going to right click, blending options, and I will select the drop shadow. So I have a drop shadow over the background. You see that? Check this out. Super. Well, we have to be careful in that, but you see how easy we can add depth into the photograph. I mean, it's so easy. We can actually play in whatever we like to do. You see how easy we can do whatever we want to do in even the most busiest backgrounds in Adobe Photoshop. So use this new technique in Creative Cloud Photoshop 2014. I mean the technique of select and of course focus area. I was Evan, your man in all creative tutorials. Have fun, my friends. I'll see you soon.